Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Dance.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
Welcome! We got Randy Smith and Nate Smith. How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good,
Great
thanks.
to have you on. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. I was old and slow, and I got out of the gym late. You know how it goes. I'm sure you guys do.
Sir.
So we want to get you on. I see that you're fundraising to go to Germany to represent the country in kickboxing. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that and why you got to raise your own money? Why is the country paying for you?
I don't really know, man. That's just how it is. But we're getting it done. We're chipping away at it. Got a lot of people that are showing us support from both the Auburn area and Cortland area and outside those areas as well. So we're getting in there. We're closing in. You know, we're still a little bit short. We raised up enough to cover our airline tickets and our hotels and stuff, and we're just some odds and ends. You know, we're going to Germany, so we got to cover our own food and stuff like that. But we're making progress. We're grateful for what people have donated so far.
Yeah, that's so expensive to fight in your own country when you're just traveling to a fight, not let alone like flying to another country. You got to cut weight there. You got to eat there. You got to have hotels there. There's like nothing you can do. It's not like you drive your car there. Like you can't cut expenses at all. Just a roundabout, like how much is this looking to cost you?
Roughly probably around like
$5,000.
$5,000, and that would be pretty
Covers everything.
But that would be not like that'd be the cheap route. You know what I mean? It's like $1,000 a ticket for the plane. The planes are alone, another 1,000 or so for hotels, and then we got uniforms and
Gear, equipment,
and then food, and then we got to cover our travel over there as well. Like shuttles or trains or buses
and to and from, and then that's just for the fights. That's not like to do anything. That's not to like go out and get your food. That's so people don't understand like how expensive it is to really. I mean, people that travel do, but people don't understand like they just think that you're making money to fight and you're making all this money and like you're just all amateurs, so you're not even getting paid to do it. It's not like there's a big. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me cut you off.
No, he's good.
I just said we get paid nothing.
Yeah, like amateurs don't get paid at all. So he's doing all this to represent his country and for the experience. So this is a $5,000 trip that's not being reimbursed. Like he's going there and he's representing our country. So I know we have a lot of people that love to help out fighters. So I'm gonna put.
The experience is priceless, though, if you think about it, right? Like I know you're old school, like I am, right? Like we didn't really have them opportunities when we were coming up. Like we were. Look at myself, my pro debut, I was weighing in a janitor's closet and fighting 15 minutes later. You know what I mean? So to build them up and put them on a stage like that, is huge. I mean, he's been fighting since he's been 8 years old. So he's has a huge opportunity here. So really, if we got it, we're gonna make it happen one way or the other. But the opportunity for him is priceless, and we're really grateful to have this opportunity to go out there and represent the United States.
How many people are on the team?
What is it like?
There's a lot of people. I think around 20.
20 fighters, I believe.
Mike Stevens is on that card as well, right? Like,
yeah,
he's coming down with you. Yeah, we're having him on later tonight too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's a real up and coming guy, man. I just watched a couple of his fights. I think these guys fought on the same card.
Yeah, he's a really good Golden Gloves boxer. I saw that, and he has good kicks too. From coming from a boxing background, he has really good kicks. It's pretty impressive.
He's got pretty decent elbows and knees too. He came in my gym not too long ago. We did some rounds too. Like he's a tough guy, man. He's good in the clinch too. He's like good everywhere.
Yeah, I saw an interview. He said once he grabs the clinch, he doesn't like to let go.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking savage. Don't mean to cuss in front of youngin, but he's goddamn savage in the clinch, dude. Like he gets a hold of you, those knees and elbows are coming. Like he moves you around really well. That whole
Yeah.
team down there, Doyle's like that too, and Mackenzie, like man, all the people from that gym are really really solid in the clinch.
Now
How's
this
your
fight in Germany is going to be a K1 fight.
K1 or Muay Thai? We get to pick what one we want to do.
Yeah, we're not gonna do Muay Thai. We got 3 options. You got K1, Muay Thai, and Glory rules. So like we're either gonna do probably K1. A slight chance we might do the Glory, but K1 for sure.
Isn't just a difference at clinch wise, basically?
Yeah. So the K1 there's maybe like 1 strike in the clinch if there's any clinch at all. Glory, you would get like 3 to 5 seconds in the clinch, and Muay Thai, you could stay the whole fight in there as long as you're working.
Can you elbow in Glory and K1 in the amateurs?
I'm not. I'm not really sure. A lot of the shows I haven't seen it, but we were down at the waterworks there in Buffalo, and they were doing elbows with the pads on. So I think it depends on the commission. For the ISKA, I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I could be wrong, but I do not think so.
So we call the Riverworks fights. So they do A class Muay Thai, which means you can elbow with the elbow pads on too. So if you have more than 2 fights and you agree to do an A class fight, you can put the elbow pads on and you can elbow too. Michael Walters, who's a referee who definitely knows what's going on. He was just on the PFL card. We saw you on there. No elbows in Glory or K1.
Damn it.
Hey, Mike, I want to apologize to you too. So I did not know that fight that you were reffing was an amateur fight. You definitely got in there at the right time. I thought that was a pro fight because of the spot on the card it was. But yeah. That's why we got to do some Muay Thai. You can elbow all day.
Yeah, Mike Walters.
Yeah, Mike Walters.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Yeah, that's awesome. That like we got the referees just come in and jump in and they let us know what the rules are. And you're fighting, you don't even know the rules.
Though, I mean, it's never been an issue. We always get the rules at those hour and a half rules meeting before the fight. So we just make the adjustments and get in there. And he's been doing this for a long time. So the rules may change a little bit from promotion to promotion or commission to commission, but he's experienced enough just to make them adjustments and go.
What's your goal in kickboxing, Nate?
Kickboxing? Well, my goal actually is to eventually transition to MMA when I turn 18. I'm just been doing kickboxing because I'm not old enough to do MMA yet. So after I go to Germany, once I turn 18, I think I'm going to have my first adult fight, do a couple adult kickboxing fights, then I'll transition to MMA later on.
Man, you're going to be a killer. I can't wait. Do you wrestle in school?
I did wrestling for maybe like a week, but I did jiu-jitsu for a while, so. He used to have a gym, and we used to have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach called Rodolfo Barcelios, and I did jiu-jitsu with him for like, how long? 2 years, maybe? Pretty long time, so.
Man, that's awesome. What's it like watching your son grow up, Randy, in front of your eyes, just battling people all the time?
Oh man, it's amazing, really. You know what I mean? It's amazing. Like he's basically growing up in the gym. I got pictures of him, like with his diaper on, playing with the focus pads and stuff on the ground. I got pictures of him grappling with John Jones.
Yeah, that's sick.
He's grown up. He's grown up in the gym, and always, right from an early age, he was pretty much throwing punches before he was walking. You know what I'm saying? So like,
there's a picture of me with a baby with boxing glove just sitting right on my chest.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's growing up, and he's always, he's really good with the team. He's always from a young age, he's been sparring adults. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's really been around it, and he's a great teammate. And like the gym that we have now, we have a small gym, but they're Nate's a bit of a leader there, and we're like a little family. We train in the basement of a place that I work, and every night we get down there. Nate comes up on the weekends, and we go down there and we do a fight training. You know what I mean? We don't mess around with too many other things. We just get after it.
So I grew up with my son grew up in the gym with me as well, and we definitely had some headbutts between the two of us fighting as we came up. Do you guys have any good stories like that where you guys like really clashed heads, or he's like, no, it's not the right way to do it. We're gonna do it like this. I'm like, no. Let me tell you something, son.
Man, I've grounded him a few times, you know, but nothing crazy. You know?
No, whenever I disrespect him or stuff, so if he goes sparring, he'll give me a lesson right in the sparring. That's my punishment.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. He's a pretty respectable kid, you know what I mean? But there's so you know, I'm his dad, right? I'm his dad first and his coach second. So there's a fine line between the two, you know. So like sometimes I gotta straddle that line, you know. Like so I started off, I can't like go lighter on him. I do the other guys. The other guys will pick up on it. So maybe I go a little bit harder on him, but he's around it all the time, you know. So you know, I expect a lot out of him, but he's a real super respectful kid on the most part, and he's a privilege, right? Like, you know, he's got more talent than, you know, he's got better opportunity than I had. You know, I was 32 when I had my professional debut. He's grown up in it, and it's really like it's a privilege to be involved in it. You know, we just branched out, got him training, reached out to some of my old teammates that run the gym in Portland because I live in Auburn now. So he's training during the week. He's training with Zach Burhans over at the Brojo. He's getting some like high level training over there. Zach's, you know,
very good coach.
Zach's a very good coach. You know, he comes from the same background I do, really. A lot of the same coaches we worked over the years, but he's in good hands, and Nate's really starting to put some stuff together.
What are you doing, bro?
Bro,
That's my younger. I
wasn't laughing at you. I'm sorry. It was hard not to laugh at that. I apologize.
Yeah, no. Oh my god.
Those Brojo guys are tough, man. Mason Lewis came out of there. He looks great.
Yeah, Mason Lewis looks solid.
Very
yeah.
wrestler. I'm training with him. I helped him with his stand up, and he kept shooting takedowns on me, and I was defending it.
We also
such a good wrestler, bro. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
We also train cross train with Viking up here in Auburn with Brad Vargson. Brad's a real good dude. He's old school too, you know. So we go over there on Sundays, or we'll pick up a day during the week. And Ashley's Brad. He's you know, they did a little bit better on the donations than we did at first. So Brad helped out paying for Nate's hotel and some of his, you know, his uniform and stuff. So, you know, yeah, we us old dogs gotta stick together.
Yeah, I like that. He's a super old school guy too. I've been meaning to get up and train. It's just so hard. You guys are far from me. Like, it's a long drive to come up and train. Now I got the gym too, but I meant to go up and train with him too. He's an awesome guy. I love him to death. He's definitely
great guy.
Yeah, the right kind of training. How much is a uniform? You guys have a special USA like kickboxing uniform you gotta wear? Or?
Yeah, that was all included. Like the hotels and the uniform was all included in the price. So we each paid, I believe that was like $590 or something like that. That covered the hotel for the week. Me and Nate will share a room, and then you get the USA. I believe it's USA sweatsuits.
Yeah, company shorts and like a uniform.
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of great guys in there. Mike Walters he's the head of it, so he's really helping us put this together. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like yeah, a lot of stuff I'm not familiar with. You know, so I'm reaching out to Mike all the time and say, hey man, how do I do this, or what do we do here? When does this do? Because I don't want to miss something. You know, like.
What's it like growing up with your dad as your coach? Do you think you have a step up on the competition, or do you think it's tough because you have to go home with him and then you got to deal with him at home, and like it's always pressing on you?
Definitely a step up, because I'm just home. If I want to hit mitts, I'm bored. I'll just ask him, let's go hit mitts, Dad, or something like that. Same in training, we'll go drive to the gym, get some sparring in. I love it.
That's pretty sweet. I
Nate.
got another question. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ray. Go for it.
Oh, hey Nate, how many titles you got?
9 or 10?
11.
11.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not really keeping track. I'm this guy.
About to get one more in Germany though.
If you're really like with the social credit score kind of kid, you have all the titles on you right now, hanging on the wall right behind you. That's like how the cool kids do podcasts.
They're hanging on the wall in the gym.
Yeah, we talked about that before. I'm like, man, we ain't doing that crap, man. We're not hanging them up for interviews and stuff. I thought about like doing this. Like, hey, we could stop at the gym and grab a couple just to throw over. But it's I told Nate all the time, man, you don't need to walk around telling people that you're good or whatever. I learned a long time when I was a kid. If you're good at something, people just know, right? Because actions speak louder than words. So. He's really humble. A lot of people don't even realize he's a fighter, especially at the level that he's at. Like I would introduce, hey, this is your son that fights. Wow, I had no idea. Because he's just humble, compassionate, young kid. And but that's you watch the fights, right? A lot of those guys that end up being really good fighters, you wouldn't know they were like killers in the cage either.
Yeah, for sure. He looks like he should be playing some like Minecraft or something right now.
Yeah, Minecraft for the violin or something.
No,
right?
I actually like playing UFC. I was beating people up in UFC 4 earlier.
Nice. That game is terrible. He's grappling so hard. It's stupid.
Yeah, I suck on the ground.
The stand-up's
the ground,
cool.
I'll get submitted in 2 seconds.
I can't stand it, man. I go out there, I'm fighting all those games. I'm playing those games with him, like
He sucks. I whoop him in UFC 4.
Keeping it like all technique, like that don't make no sense. You hit an angle step right there, you can't get hit with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why is that jab
Randy.
not doing no damage?
Right.
He jabbed you like 3,000 times.
Yeah, just spam button.
Hey Randy, you look like you're in good shape. Are you gonna get back in the cage?
I'm taking it by year. I'm not in the best shape right now, to be honest with you. But like, I can get in shape fairly quick. It kind of works against me. I always know, like, oh man, if I get serious, I can get ready to go in a month. So I had this. I'm gonna eat a bowl of ice cream tonight and start tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But like, I thought about it. I was gonna fight last November. Life gets really busy. I have a full-time job besides the gym. And the last couple years, I've been focusing on. Everybody pretty much knows it's no secret. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I lost a lot of things, and I've really been fighting the last couple years to get it back. So I'm always fighting, not necessarily a fight in the ring or the cage, but I haven't ruled that out. But I fight for my recovery every single day, so I can be there for this young fella.
I wasn't gonna talk about this, but since you brought it up, what was it like going through that? Is watching your son like become great really helped you and help you stay focused?
Yeah. So, in recovery, they talk about how you gotta want to do it for yourself, right? Like in the very beginning, I didn't want to. I ended up in a really bad spot. A lot of people know the story, especially in the MMA community. My youngest son, the kid with that just had the mask on here. He got very sick when he was a month and a half old. When we were up at the Calisanos Hospital, he had bacterial meningitis, and during that time, I fell off. And in a 5-year period, I lost, what seemed like everything, right? Like, my wife left, and she, every reason to leave. I lost the house. I lost the gym. I ended up going to jail, and from jail, I went to rehab to the halfway house. I ended up in Auburn, and I went to work started volunteering at the place I work at now. The first time I was there, I was handcuffed to a chair that's in my office today. And I work every morning. I work up at the same jail that I was at, right? And I remember, like, Nate, all the time I was talking to Nate because they were my reason why I was getting knocked down. Those kids were the reason why I was getting up, And but after a while, I had the mark. What they say, the mark of a true champion isn't whether you get knocked down or not. It's whether you get back up. But then what makes somebody good, the great, is you figure out a way not to get knocked down as much, right? Like, you got to make those adjustments. And
these guys were my reason, and then I started putting it together, and I started working on Nick's Ride, and we started the gym. And before that happened, during a year and a half or whatever, Nate didn't fight. Nate wasn't training anywhere else. He was waiting for me to get better. And when I moved to supported living, which is I was in the halfway house, went to supported living. I was in the family house where I got my kids on the weekend. We had our own place. At that time, Bubba from Full Contact Fighter, he reached out and said, "Hey man, let's get your kid on here." And so I got Nate ready to fight in the basement at supported living, and had a couple guys come over and train with him, and
That was crazy.
and we went down there, and I burned a lot of bridges. I used to be the matchmaker for Gladius and really involved in other promotions as well. When I relapsed, I went pretty nuts, right? Burned a lot of bridges. But Bubba was the first guy that reached out and was real super loyal, great guy, great friend. We started getting Nate matchups down there at FCP. We started, fighting about every show that he was having down there. And, a lot of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Bubba reaching out and giving, taking care of us down there and stuff. Because I was just starting over. I didn't have money to travel, and he was covering gas for us and everything else to fight, until I got back on my feet. So
I remember one time when we were going to my weigh-ins, he crashed his new car he just got. Ran a motorcycle guy over. So then we didn't have a car all the way in the middle of Rochester, and Bubba actually he gave us a ride to the fights, picked us up, gave us a ride to the fight. So none of this would have been possible without Bubba.
Of course, he's got to bring up the motorcycle. I was hoping
So the way he said it sounded like you ran a motorcycle guy over, or you ran his motorcycle over.
It was, so we're pointing for the weigh-ins, and I got an accident, right? Like I was turning, he was turning.
You had a left.
He was turning right, and we collided, and I messed up his motorcycle.
Right in front of the weigh-ins.
Right in front of it. I just got that car too. I just got that car for a month. It was the first car I had in recovery, right? So the life is looking good, and then bam, just like that, I'm right back without a car again. But he won the fight, so
yeah, still won.
So did you run the guy over, or did you run the motorcycle over?
I didn't really run him. He kind of went flying over the hood. Thanks for bringing this up.
You did.
Kids will throw you under the bus.
You ain't kidding.
That's right. My kids always tell about the time I got out of the car and I didn't put it in park, and I roll back out into the street, and they're sitting in the back seat in their car seats. It happens, man. It's no big deal.
Yeah, but
I thought about way cooler if you rode a motorcycle guy over and not the motorcycle. That would be like a way better story. Just the motorcycle is not a cool story.
No, so yeah, so lots of people that we've had relationships with in the past. So over this past few years of Nate really putting the fights together, we've had a lot of support. People set up over the fights. Ryan Ciotoli, we big part of my fight career. Nate wouldn't have a career if I didn't probably have one. So we were the original Bomb Squad guys. And now he's, even when he's training with Zach, Zach was one of the original Bomb Squad guys. So it's like my old life and my new life and everything coming together. But the one constant thing is he was part of both of those lives. So we always say, like in the gym, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. You know what I mean? So he's seen a lot of stuff. So has Isaac. He's seen stuff or experience stuff that he he shouldn't have. But because of that, though, it's molded him. Been a part of what's molded him into the man that he's becoming.
Sounds like it made you guys a lot stronger. I know, like, it must have been like personal hell for you, but for your son to stick with you and you guys to be close like you are now, like, this is a good story, man. Like, I watch this, and I feel my heart warming up to watching you guys, and your son is like so cool to you. Like, he's still love. You can see the love in his eyes, like right now. Like, I know that sounds like no homo, but I mean, it's cool to see. You know, like I love it.
But my kids are my life, right? Like, and that's one thing I've learned in recovery. There's a difference between being a father and being a dad, right? Like, I've always been a father, but this last 3 years, I've learned and had the honor of becoming a dad. And a lot of times, our perspective changes. We end up being grateful for things that we might have took for granted. So today, like, there's so many things that I might not have as much as I used to have, or I don't have a huge gym and things like that. But like, I really learned to have gratitude and cherish the things that I have and do things that I'm not going to lose them. You know what I mean? Like, which I did in the past, just like I was talking about earlier, learn from my mistakes. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And, I had to make a change, and for these, it wasn't fair for these kids. They didn't ask for the things that they were going through. I had to make a change. And at the end of my fight career, I get injured, I got hooked on pills and got back into drinking, and just I wasn't in a good spot. But like, these guys were my reason to get back up, to beat that count. And then they're not only my reason to get up, but they're my reason to stay up. So
do you feel that, Nate? Do you feel performing so well comes from like trying to please your dad and like show him that you're into the sport and you love him and you're trying to respect him?
Yeah, every time I fight, I basically fight with this man. I fight for me and fight for him. And every time I go and fight, I want to show him that I have improved every single time. And I go and I just go win. That's my goal. I go out there and win and have fun. That's the most important thing. I have fun. And I have fun with him cornering me in my fight too. He even makes jokes in the corner sometimes.
Oh man, I get so nervous in that corner.
Yeah, so he starts making jokes.
I get like when I'm training my guys, I get more nervous than I do when I fight. And then when I train my son, it's like 10 times more nervous. You know what I mean? Because there's been times like as a father, I want to throw the towel in though, but as his coach and knowing what he can overcome and what he's capable of, I don't. But I remember one time, one of his early fights, he fought
kid. Oh my goodness!
He fought this tall kid from Canadian, Canada, and we ended up fighting in a Muay Thai. And
he just kept grabbing me in a Muay Thai clinch and kneeing the hell out of my body.
Yeah, and
fight.
Nate hung in there, and he really showed his toughness. Bubba says that's the fight that Nate turned it around, right? Like that's when Nate showed how tough he was and what he would go through. But I remember after that fight. His mom come in the back room where we were, and boy, I tell you what, I took
she was screaming.
I took a shellac. So you never let him get hurt like that again. She was slapping.
I almost came back though. I landed a huge overhand. I had him stumbling across the ring. I almost finished him. I was so close in the last round.
The Canadian. Did you win the last round?
I don't think I won. I just landed a couple good punches, but
no, he lost. He
lost. No, the last round. Did you win the last round?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if you came back and you win the last round after 2 rounds of getting the shit eaten out of you, like,
yeah, that would have been
man, that's pretty amazing. I got a comment. So hard to coach your kids balancing love and building them as athletes.
Yeah, it is, but it's probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever had the thing to do too. You know what I mean? It's like when he loses, I lose, and when he wins, I win, and it's just it's just man, I don't have the words to express that feeling, right? Like that feeling, the feeling that you get when you win. Both of you guys know, right? It's that when you win and get that arm raised in the cage, when
no words can describe that moment.
But when his arm gets raised, man, it's like it blows that feeling right out of the water,
It definitely does. Like all the comments are a great bond. Like you guys are pretty amazing. I didn't think that this interview was going to be anything like this when Ray set this up. Honestly, Randy, I heard that you're a little bit crazy, especially from like the drinking stuff. So I was like, man, I can't wait to see like how this one's going to go. Like, and I didn't want to talk about any of the drinking stuff, but I'm glad that you brought it up, man. It warms my heart to see like not everybody says the right things about you. It's good to see you, and like I can see the love in him that you're doing a great job as a dad, man. And
Doing an
that's
amazing job as a dad.
yeah, dude. There's so much love. Like I love to see this, man. I can't tell you, like this is totally not what I thought today was gonna be, and I'm excited to hear the story. I'm glad I had you guys on. I'm
Yeah.
glad Ray got you guys. I didn't have you on. Like Ray
Yeah,
got
it's
you.
good. You know,
It's
I had 3
awesome.
years. I actually had my 3-year sobriety date was last Wednesday, and that's what one thing you learn in recovery, right? Like the way I look at it, like I made it so complicated in the beginning of my recovery. Then when I started thinking as my recovery like a fight, right? Like a championship fight in boxing is 12 rounds. I don't have to win every round to win that championship, right? I got to win 7. That means I'm going to lose 5 and just don't get knocked out. So getting knocked out would be like picking up, right? Like, so I can have those rounds that I have some bad days and some character defects come out, but as long as I don't pick up and I still stay in that fight and I still have a chance the next round and I win more rounds than I lose, and like, so I'm his coach as far as fighting, but in a lot of ways, he been that motivational guy for me, or giving me that fire, like but giving me some tough love too when I needed it. I remember when I was in jail 3 years ago when I was gonna get out, I called him up and told him I was gonna try to get bailed out, and he says, "Dad, don't."
You needed it.
You
needed to stay in jail. That's what made him better.
And when he told me not to, right then, I mean that's that first time that I went back to my cell, and I was just like, that's when I started to really start to click that, like, boy, I gotta surrender, and like surrendering usually tough, right? Because if I'm surrendering, like in the business that I'm in, it's because I'm taking a whooping, right? But I was taking a whooping, maybe not a physical whooping, but I was doing a lot of damage and I was taking a lot of damage, and I needed just to give up. And it's because of Nate and Leah Grace and Isaac that I could do that, and like they're my man, I love those guys so much, and
Love you so
I
much.
wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for these guys. I can honestly say that. At the end of that 3 years ago, I lost the will to live. I didn't want to live anymore. Those decisions what ended me up in jail. And but then like these guys, they were my light at the end of the tunnel. So like the fact that now that we're going to Germany to represent the United States, and that he's stuck, he's stuck there waiting for me to get ready to train him again, and me to get to the point where I could start training him again was huge, because that was one of the things that got me through some of the darkest times. Was like, Nate needs me, I got to get there to train. I know how talented he was, and we just had to get there again. So that that got me out of bed and in the morning sometimes, and got me headed in the right direction.
I love it. So I got another question for you, Nate. I was gonna ask this one a long time ago before we got all mushy and talked about like feelings and stuff. My son, he's just about to turn 17, and he's finally bigger and stronger than me. He's not close to beating me yet, but he's getting closer. How old do you think you're gonna be when you think you're gonna beat your dad for the first time in a round?
Probably never, to be honest. Nah. I don't know. I think I'm pretty close right now. I'm a little faster than him.
I love it. What do you think? What do you think, Nate? Or Randy? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I never think it'll come to that. Maybe smarter and stuff, but like he's a lot more talented, physically than I was. He got a younger start, and I guess they say as a coach, like they always say, like a mark of a true coach is if their guys can become better than them. You know what I mean? So if he gets to the point that he's better than me, then
that just means you're a good coach.
Yeah, then that's a blessing. That's what I would want. And I think he's past that potential probably quite a while ago. You know what I mean? But I'm always going to be able to hit harder, so I always got that equalizer.
I always feel like my son didn't have enough bad stuff in his life to make him be tough enough to beat me. So I don't think I'm ever going to lose either. Even when I'm like 90 and he's like in his physical prime, I'm going to smash that little soft kid. You didn't laugh at that one. He's like, man, I'm not gonna smash my kid. I'm sad.
Isaac, you gotta turn that down, son.
Way down.
Thank you, buddy. Love you.
Now I thought you thought that too loud, 360.
Oh, Isaac's the best.
Sorry
man.
about that, man.
No, that's awesome. It adds a lot of family to this podcast, and that's really a good thing. This whole podcast has really been about family. I was gonna ask you a bunch of questions about fighting, and we got into your life, which is a way better story, and I think people are gonna want to see that story more, anyways.
Yeah.
Speaking of seeing that story, right now I'm gonna post in the comment the GoFundMe, so you can just click on this, and you guys can make a donation, whatever platform you're watching on. It came through on all of them, so you can just click on it, and then it'll take you right to the GoFundMe. These guys can really use it. If you're just listening now about the family stuff, you can go back and listen to how much it costs to go to Germany. And now you see the kind of bond relationship they have, and like it's going to mean so much to them to go together as father and son to Germany and represent the country of the United States.
Yes, it will.
Man, I feel so good about this now. Like I want you guys to go so bad. I love it. If you go and you're going to go no matter what, but when you go and when you win, because I'm not going to even add the ifs to it now, what is that going to mean to you when you go there and you win representing your country, Nate?
It's gonna mean everything. It'll be such a big accomplishment to actually go in Germany and win. I've never been out of seas before. I've never been international. It's my first time going on a plane ever in a 9-hour plane ride. That's crazy. So if I win, that's gonna be huge for me. Huge.
You better get a little bit extra money so you can get the plane Wi-Fi. 9 hours without any internet access is a long.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna download some Netflix shows or something.
How about you, Randy? What's it going to mean to watch your son go over to Germany and win representing the United States?
It's going to mean a lot, if they have, off of this, lots of possibilities could happen, lots of opportunities. But it's kind of surreal, really, to really think about it, that we're going over to Germany at 17 years old, and he has the opportunity to bring back a medal for the United States of America. So it's gonna.
I looked at the games I want. We need $70.
$70.
Yeah.
We had another $70 on that GoFundMe.
$70, dog.
Dad, yes. One's 49 and the other one's 29.
Okay.
Get the one that's 10. Get the one that's 10.
Get the one that says free. Well, yeah. So the opportunity. I mean, it's an honor and a privilege, right? Like, to see him over there, when you get over there, I don't know if I'll probably have the words to, I won't have much for words, but I'm proud already of him. I mean, so like I can't imagine the feelings I'm going to have once he gets over there and perform this the way that I know he can.
What's the age grouping for what you're fighting? Is 17, 18, 16, 17, 18?
16 and 17, and I think 14, 15.
Yeah.
I've been 16, 17. And then the weight class, it's in kilograms, but I don't really know what it is in kilograms. But
they were fighting around 143, 144 or something.
It's whatever the weight is times 2.2.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'll be at 143.
You don't even know the weight, dog. You're crazy. I love it.
No, it's right. It's kilograms, and like I talked to Mike, I think we're fighting. I think it's a 143 pound division, so it's a little couple pounds less than 45. I could be wrong.
I said later, bro.
2 pounds up to one way, or 2 pounds
like
up.
1 hour ago.
We gotta do this.
We'll play a game together later. I got you.
No. That's like 1 hour.
Okay, we'll play it together when I'm done with this. All right.
How about you give us like 3 more minutes? We'll wrap it up real quick for you guys. Like, give us like 3 minutes. All right. Make a deal with Caveman. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay? I get him out of here in 3 minutes for you so you can play. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Peace.
We'll get him out of here in 2 minutes. That's a whole minute.
Oh, I love that kid.
Oh my God. So are you gonna have any trouble making weights? 43, like not that bad for you?
No, I
Fighting
usually fight at
45, right?
145, and I fought at 135 a couple times, so 143 would be pretty easy to make.
He's
I walk
been-
around like between 150 155, so it'll be a pretty easy weight cut.
He's
in my
been
comfort
under
zone.
32, right?
No, 35. That sucked though. Oh my goodness, I
Yeah,
hated
that's why
being.
you were under 35.
No, it wasn't. It was like 135.
Just look out for Guinness. Don't drink the Guinness because the drinking age is a little bit different over there. Don't drink nothing. Just go train and get some nice good water in you.
Yes, sir. I will.
Yeah. Stay away. You got a perfect example and a reason why you shouldn't. And now you can go over there. You can
I'm
stay
never
away
gonna
from
because of
drinking. Get focused and smash people.
that. Smash
That would be
people.
my advice to you.
Smash people, not beers, right?
Or girls. But if you're gonna do it, at least over in Germany where they can't come back and get you. That's
Oh, no, we can't think that way. He's a good boy. We're gonna keep it that way.
yeah.
Yeah, don't listen to Caveman.
Coach Randy doesn't want to be a grandpa, Randy. Once you're a grandpa, dude, they call you grandpa forever. And I'm sure Coach Randy don't want to be called Grandpa Randy.
You will someday. Will someday.
That's good. All right, man. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for being open and honest. Your story is great, and hopefully we get out to a whole bunch of people and we get you some more money. All right.
Thank you so much for
Appreciate
having
you
us.
guys
It was
on.
an honor to be on your show.
All right, thanks,
guys.
Jeff. Thanks, Ray.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
guys.
When you win, dude, you have to come back on.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll give you
All
guys.
right,
a
I
shout-out
appreciate
as
it.
well.
Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Anytime.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great night, guys.
Peace.
Yep.
Good luck.
Peace.
Get him a video game.
I'm gonna.
Oh, that was a good one, Ray.
Oh yeah, that was a great one. You know, young, talented guy from New York State, ready to, go to Germany and win.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Good to see too. I'm glad to see that Randy's life came together, man. I heard some bad
Yep.
things about him, so I was a little bit nervous when we had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
But dude, like it sounds so cool. I hope
Oh, yeah.
everyone
And,
that ever said anything bad about Randy listens to this podcast and sees the love that his son has for him.
Right. I remember Randy, Nate fighting, and he's bigger now, and he won some belt titles. So he's a young good fighter.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure Randy got to be proud.
Yeah, I would be proud. I mean,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean,
God.
if we had a son of ours fighting and he's being successful, that's got to be one of the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, especially can you imagine watching him lose though? Like how he said he wanted to throw in a towel for a match with the knees. Man, I understand that too.
Oh yeah.
It's gotta be tough.
So at 9:00 we got Mike Stevens coming on, and he's going to Germany too.
Yes, I'm sure his story will be much different. He's gonna take me some Sammy's pizza over there, give me some beers. I'm gonna smash some fools. That's gonna be Mikey Stevens. And I want to ask him. I heard his opponent spit on him in his fight, so I have a lot to ask him about his FCP fight too.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is I got some stuff I want to talk to him about. This is going to be a good, really exciting podcast, and that one's going to be right at 9 p.m. I'm already back home, so I won't be late for this one. 7 o'clock's really early. When Ray schedules 7 o'clock ones, I'm like, oh man, I hope I can get there on time. But,
I'm sorry about that, Caveman. I'm so used to doing that 7 for the West Coast people.
Yeah. Well, 7 on Wednesdays is fine. 7 on Sundays is like rough because
I got you. My bad. That's my bad.
I leave the gym at like 6:15, so
That's my
to
bad.
get here by 7 sometimes tough. I had to make a stop and get some things, and so that's good. But we will see you guys in about an hour and 12 minutes. Look for Mikey Stevens. He's coming up soon. With that, we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.